In today's video, I'm going to be discussing $15,060 and why this is an incredibly important level, specifically focused on the low income right now in 2024, and why you may want to mark this number down. That's the focus of this video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. All right, now, as I said, $15,060 is the key number that I'm focusing on here in this video. In fact, there's actually a secondary number that I'm also going to talk about here in this video, which is $20,440, but more on that in just a little while. But these numbers are pertaining to the low income right now for 2024, and in fact, this is encompassing about 40 million people all across the country right now as we speak. Therefore, it's pretty important, and this also indicates a lot of other benefits or programs that are out there specifically focused on the low income. Again, I will allude to all of that and talk about the details here in this video. Really fast before we get into it, can I ask a huge favor of you? If you have not done so yet, will you make sure to subscribe down below? It's totally free to do so. There's the big subscribe button down there. Make sure to hit that if you have not done so. And also, right next to the subscribe button is a share button. Make sure to share this video with your friends on social media so they can also see what's going on and see the importance behind these numbers that I'm sharing with you right here in this video. And also, by the way, I'm doing all the research, watching the headlines, and advocating on your behalf in any way that I possibly can be. I have been for years, and I will continue to be, because that's my dedication, my promise, and my commitment to you and everybody right here in the community. Thank you so much for being here. Really do appreciate it. Literally every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe, and let's talk through the details. All right, so a couple different numbers here. Again, $15,060 and $20,440. Now, 40 million people across the country right now fall into these parameters. That's a huge percentage of our population. It's something like, what is it, 22% or something of our population? It's a lot of people, right? Therefore, these are very important numbers. Now, here's the thing. We're looking at these numbers compared to your income. Now, again, I want to clarify really quickly. What is your income? Well, obviously, you would think like, that's a pretty obvious question, right? It's any and all income that you have coming into. So any money. It could be any money from anything. It could be from Social Security. It could be from SSDI, spousal benefits, survivor's benefits, SSI, VA, RRB. Maybe you're working part-time. Maybe you're working full-time. Whatever it happens to be, it doesn't matter. Income is income. Money coming to you is income, okay? It literally does not matter the source that it comes from. Income is income. Money coming in is your income, okay? So I know that sounds very obvious, but you believe it or not, sometimes I do have questions down below saying like, does this count as income? If it's money coming to you, it's income, right? So that's what I wanted to clarify really quickly. But anyway, these 40 million people. And again, why I want to point out the importance of these numbers here, because this number determines your eligibility for a whole variety of programs. In fact, tons and tons of programs that are out there dedicated to these numbers that I'm sharing with you. What are these numbers? These are the federal poverty line, or as they like to say, federal poverty level. Now, let me explain really quickly. The $15,060, that is income. So if your income is below $15,060 for this year, 2024, technically you would be below the federal poverty line, okay? But if you're feeling worried about that, I want to say this much as well. You're certainly not alone. 40 million people are right there with you. So if that's your case, you can see the numbers behind this, okay? This is not necessarily a number in statistics that we should be proud of here in this country, considering that we claim to be one of the most affluent countries in the world, richest countries in the world. I'm sorry, but that's pretty sad if 40 million of our people here are living below the federal poverty line, right? So anyway, that is the number for an individual. Now get this, a household of two people. So it's you and maybe a spouse, whatever it happens to be, right? A household of two, the federal poverty line is $20,440 for a household of two. Now, what's interesting about this, and again, I've had questions about this, but I want to explain this really quickly. You would think, like logically, wait, household of one, an individual, federal poverty line is $15,060. Once you just say like, hey, once you just double it for a household of two to $30,120, you would think so. Logically, that would make sense, but no, that's not how it works, right? It's kind of like it's a progressive scale that kind of goes up a little bit for every person that is added to the household above one. So there's like a baseline of one, and then it moves up a little bit. As you can see in this example here, $15,060 for one and $20,440 for two. That's an increase of, what is that? $5,380. I think my math is right on that. Yeah, so you can see it moved up a little bit there. Now, a household of four is a little over $31,000, okay? So That's what it comes down to right now for 2024. Now, why are these numbers so incredibly important? They're so important because this indicates your eligibility for a whole host of programs. Now, let me just rattle off a few right now, okay? SNAP benefits, food stamps, EBT, okay? It's all referring to the exact same thing. I know that these programs can be referred to with a variety of different names here, but this is a very important program here as well, and it sends out benefits to about 43 million people every single month right now. Well, guess what? Your income needs to be basically at the federal poverty line. It's actually a little bit above. About 130% of the federal poverty line would make somebody eligible for SNAP benefits. Now, obviously, I don't know your exact situation. Just because your income is at that does not necessarily mean you're 100% eligible for SNAP benefits. But my point is, there's a lot of people that are eligible for SNAP because their income is below a certain level, right? But anyway, this is one very popular program that a lot of people are eligible for because their income is right around that federal poverty line, and it's always pegged off of. Again, a lot of these programs are 100% pegged off of the federal poverty line, your income as a percentage of. Now, sometimes they do 100% of the federal poverty line, you'd be eligible, 125, 130%, sometimes it's 150%, and in some rare cases, it's even 200% of the federal poverty line or below would make you eligible for a certain program. But again, SNAP is just one of them. Other programs include the LIHEAP, Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. That's one of them. LIHWAP is another one. The Low Income Home Water Assistance Program. I've talked about that before in other videos. The WAP program, Weatherization Assistance Program. Again, talked about that before in other videos. The other program, the Free Internet Program, which is basically over, that is the ACP, the Affordability Connectivity Program. Again, that one was also based on income. The list goes on, right? Medicaid, a lot of this has to do with income. Therefore, the federal poverty line, as it continues to move up, is also very important, right? So we need to continue watching these numbers. Now, let me point out something else that's very important. Now, I know a lot of you here in this community receive SSI. How do I know that? Because I see your comments down below in the comment section. I know about 37% or so of you here in this community that watch the videos here on the channel receive SSI. I know this because I hosted a poll back around the beginning of the year here on the channel. I said, hey, how many of you receive retirement benefits? How many of you receive SSDI? How many receive SSI? And I believe the number was around 37% receive SSI. So a huge percentage of you here in this community receive SSI. But get this as well. There's a lot of legislation out there. In fact, one of the key piece of legislation that's out there right now, the SSI Restoration Act. They want to raise benefits up to the federal poverty line, 100% of the federal poverty line. Well, guess what? That would raise benefits substantially for SSI beneficiaries. In fact, that'd be a raise of about $312 or so a month, if my math is right on that, right now, if they were to raise benefits from the current level right now in 2024 of $943 a month up to the federal poverty line, which is a little over $1,200 a month, it'd be an increase of about $300 and some a month, above and beyond what you're currently getting as the maximum, okay? Now, that's just one piece. There's a lot of pieces of legislation out there right now talking about the federal poverty line as far as raising benefits up to, establishing a minimum benefit of the federal poverty line, flattening out benefits for all beneficiaries at the federal poverty line, for Social Security and things like this. Again, the list goes on and on. You've heard me talk about all of these proposals in other videos. Yeah, believe it or not, that federal poverty line is like a magical number, right? It's like the magic stick. Well, I don't know if it's like a magic stick, but you get my point here, right? It's like this line in the sand. It's like this magical line. Look, whoa, the federal poverty line. It's actually very important. You can see from the details that I'm sharing with you here in this video that this number actually does indicate a lot of different things. Eligibility for all those programs I mentioned earlier, as well as a whole lot more that I didn't even mention, as well as all these pieces of legislation that continue to pop up, and they're out there currently saying, hey, we've got to raise benefits to the federal poverty line. We need to establish a minimum floor, which is the federal poverty line. We should flatten benefits for everybody to the federal poverty line. Again, the list goes on and on. I've talked about it so many times. There's a ton of proposals, and it all revolves around these numbers, okay? So anyway, I want to bring this to your attention really quickly. Again, just keep this number in mind here. Does it mean that you need to make sure you're under it? Well, no. In fact, if you have the opportunity to get above that number, way above that number, I would say by all means, jump on that opportunity if you can, right? But again, that's not really the case for everybody. But I'm saying is, you certainly don't want to be like, well, let's strive to be under the federal poverty line. I wouldn't recommend that, right? If you have the opportunity to get way above it or to do anything to lift yourself above that line, by all means, take advantage of it and do it, right? But again, this is a number that continues to increase a little bit each and every year, and I believe it increased by something like $480 this year over last year. It's not a ton. It went up a little bit, about 3.29% is how much it went up this year over last year. So it's really not a ton, but either way, it is a number that we need to continue to keep on our radar, and something we need to continue watching, because a lot of these proposals that are out there and a lot of people keep referring to federal poverty line. Okay, well, that's why it's important, right? Anyway, want to bring this to your attention so you have this information at your disposal. Again, write these numbers down if you'd like to. Otherwise, just refer back to this video at some point if you want. Otherwise, these are the numbers and this is the information that I want to bring to you. So if you have not done so, again, do yourself a huge favor. Make sure to subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Big subscribe button waiting for you down there. Otherwise, share this video with your friends on social media. Again, big share button right down below the video. Otherwise, go back and check out any of the other thousands and thousands of videos here on the channel in the video library, or those that I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section. Those I've hand selected, and check those out. Otherwise, check out some of the videos here on your screen, and until next time, enjoy your day. Take care. Have a good one. Thanks so much for your support. Really do appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again later.